thank you for joining me for this 25-minute energizing practice filmed on beautiful Vancouver Island. For this practice, please have a blanket or a towel or even a small pillow and have a seat elevating the hips. Taking a moment to get settled in, finding a nice tall seat, relaxing the shoulders, and just starting to notice the breath arriving fully on your mat for this practice. When you're ready, inhale, open the eyes and reach the arms up. As you exhale, sweep the arms down. Continue moving with your breath here. Being mindful of the ribs as you reach the arms up, keeping the front lower ribs tucked back and in towards the spine. Inhaling up, exhaling down. And then take your hands behind your head and just start to curl the elbows forward on an exhale and inhale to open. Just finding some length through the back of the neck here, that upper spine. And one more time here, reaching forward with the elbows, holding there, keeping the back of the neck long, just gently holding the hands on the head, not pressing or forcing anything. And then slowly come back up and release the arms down by your side. Take the right ear towards the right shoulder for a little stretch along the left side of the neck. And if it feels okay, take the right hand behind the back and interlace the fingers along the left side of your waist. If this is too much for shoulders, feel free to leave this out and just hold and breathe, or turn the chin gently towards the shoulder and back. Finding whatever feels good here for this stretch along the left side of the neck. Breathing steadily. And then take your left hand and your right hand down and gently bring the head back up to center to come over to the opposite side. Maybe taking the left hand behind the back if that feels okay. And possibly interlacing the fingers and clasping the hands by your right waist. Again, option here to just stay and breathe, or find some very gentle, slow movement side to side with the chin. Noticing what you're feeling here, just paying attention. And then when you're ready, release the hands and slowly bring the head back up to center. Take a couple of shoulder rolls, rolling the shoulders up, back and down, releasing any tension. And then take your fingers together in front of you and start to roll out the wrists in one direction. Just finding some wrist circles here. And then reverse the direction of your circles. This might feel a little awkward at first. And then just shake the hands out. And come off of what you're sitting if this feels better. You can stay on it and bring your legs into a 90-90 position and start to take the knees side to side. Maybe the hands come up off the floor, or maybe they stay behind you to support staying upright with the spine. And as you continue to move through this, feel free to add on reaching with the arm, kind of finding a little bit of a reach across the body, a little bit of twisting for that upper spine. Moving back and forth with that awareness, trying to find your full range of motion with the hips as you move between internal and external rotation. And the next time you come over towards your left side, facing your left knee, just place your hand slightly in front of the knee and reach the right arm up to thread it underneath a few times, finding some rotation for the thoracic spine. Moving with your breath, inhaling to reach up, exhaling to thread underneath. Bring the left foot towards the right inner thigh And then sweep your left arm up and come over into a side bend. That right arm can rest on the shin or on the floor. Maybe you want to take the left arm behind the back again here, like we did with the neck stretch. Just breathing into that left side of the body, creating space. And then coming back upright, back into your 90-90 position. Take a few side to side, kind of windshield wiper movements with the legs here. Before coming all the way over to your right side this time, facing that right knee. And then again, place the right hand slightly in front to thread the left arm underneath. Moving with your breath here. You can also change the placement of that right hand, maybe beside the knee feels better as I'm showing here. So play around with this till you find what feels good. And then bringing that right foot in towards the left inner thigh, coming up and over into your side bend. Big breath into the right side of the body this time. Maybe the hand comes behind the back. And on your next inhale, bringing yourself all the way upright. And then coming to hands and knees, maybe grabbing your pillow, blanket, cushion, whatever you have to cushion your knees here. And then come into cat-cow. So starting to move through that spinal flexion and extension. So pressing strongly to round through the spine, tuck the tailbone. And then inhaling, gently dropping the belly, allowing the chest to come forward, moving at your own pace through this a few times. Maybe thinking of moving one segment at a time or one vertebrae at a time as you move through these two oppositional movements of flexion and extension for the spine. Seeing if you can really feel into every single segment of your spine as you move. And then come back to center and we'll step the left leg back with the toes tucked. And on an exhale, lifting the leg up straight behind you, keep the foot flexed and reach the right arm long. Stay here for a breath in and out. And then take your right hand down and slowly begin to step your left foot through to a low lunge. Coming upright, reaching the arms up, keeping those front ribs down. Breathe here. And then when you're ready, twist towards the left. Left arm reaches back behind you, right arm reaches forward. Hips are still facing forward. And then come into a little reverse here. Gentle back bend, reach that left arm down, right arm up. Slowly sweep the top arm down and frame the foot with both hands. And then step into downward facing dog. Taking a few moments here to maybe pedal out the feet or sway the hips side to side. Pressing strongly through the hands to keep those arms and shoulders very active and engaged here, supporting the shoulder joints and creating length throughout the spine. And when you're ready, slowly float the knees back down to your support. And then a second side, right foot steps back. When you're ready, exhale, lift that right foot up. And then reach the left arm out in front of you. Invite the front ribs back towards the spine, finding some stability in the core here. And then when you're ready, slowly lower the left arm down and step your right leg through into low lunge. An inhale brings you upright, sweeping the arms up, stacking the ribs over the pelvis here. And then slowly begin to turn to your right, reaching the right arm back, left arm forward, coming into your twist. Breathing into the side that you're twisting away from. And then reach down with the right hand, left arm reaches up. Finding a very gentle back bend here. And then slowly reach both hands down, frame the foot, and step that right foot back, coming into downward facing dog one more time here. keeping a bend in the knees as much as needed. And then when you're ready, stepping your right foot forward into high lunge, sweeping the arms up again on the inhale, finding a little bend in the back knee. And then begin to move your arms in opposite directions, like you're marching. So right arm up, left arm down, and switch. Keeping everything else stable, relatively still, moving from the shoulder joints. Notice if your ribs want to thrust forwards as you reach one arm up, so keeping that level. And then we'll come into warrior two, so reaching that left arm back, pivoting on the back foot to open up into warrior two. Knee over ankle on the front leg, opening the palms up towards the sky, and then slowly start to reach the arms forward and back, keeping a little bend in the elbows, finding a little bit of rounding that width between shoulder blades as you reach forward, and a little gentle squeeze of shoulder blades towards the spine as you reach back. And then come back to center. Gently rest the right elbow on the right thigh as you reach the left arm up, finding a nice long line of the left side of the body here. Come back upright and come into reverse warrior, flipping the front palm and reaching back with that left arm. Breathing into the right side of the body. And then coming back to center, palms down this time. Staying here for one breath. And then sweep your back arm forward and pivot on the back foot and slowly step up to standing. We'll come into some balance work here. So taking your left foot, keeping the toes on the ground, just start to open the knee out to the side and then inwards as much as you can rotate internally. Finding that internal, external rotation of that left hip. Trying to isolate this movement as much as you can just to the hip. And then coming into tree pose, so you can just prop the heel up against the opposite ankle, or you can move the foot further up the leg. If you feel stable enough, feel free to use a wall, hold on to anything. If you want to challenge your balance a little bit here, you can raise the arms up and start to find a little bit of movement in your tree. You can change the direction of your gaze, looking around, looking behind you, out to the sides. All of these things will help to challenge and improve our proprioception and our balance. Bring the hands back out in front of you and slowly take the knee back in and step down. Inhale, reach the arms up, bend into the knees, and slowly come into a forward fold. Take a moment here, maybe you want to sway side to side, let the upper body be heavy. And come into a halfway lift on your next inhale. And then exhale to fold and step yourself back into downward facing dog. Bending through the knees, maybe pedaling it out for a moment here. Or maybe holding and just breathing. When you're ready, stepping that left leg forward into your high lunge, sweeping the arms up, keeping ribs stacked over pelvis. And this time we're going to find some rotation through the shoulder joints. So start to rotate the arms, really moving from the shoulder joint itself here. So the hands and the arm bones are just along for the ride. Keeping the breath flowing as you do this. And then slowly sweep the arms up and open out into warrior two, this time with the right foot back, left knee over ankle. And we'll keep the palms down, and this time we'll find that same opening and kind of squeezing of the shoulder blades. So just reaching back with the elbows and then bringing the arms forward across the body. And then take the arms back out to center. This time palms are up. And then reach that left elbow towards left knee, coming into your extended side angle. Right arm reaches up. Inhale to come through center, flip that front palm and come into reverse warrior. So right arm reaches back and down. Nice long breath into the left side of the ribs here. And slowly make your way back to warrior two. Staying here for a breath. Finding a sense of strength and stability. Sweeping the back arm forward. Pivoting on that back heel to step forward for our standing balance. This time with the right toes down, and you're just finding that rotation. Moving that right knee out to the side and then back in, maybe slightly towards the midline of the body. Finding as much movement of that femur bone in the hip socket as you can here. And then when you're ready, taking that foot into the tree posture, maybe propping it up against the ankle, or maybe taking it further up the leg, just placing it anywhere that feels stable for you to stay, and maybe challenge your balance a little bit with some movement or changing the direction of where you're looking. So just playing here, remembering that there's no final destination with balance work. Some days our balance is better than other days. And the wiggles and the wobbles are all part of our body learning where we are in space, how to make all those little tiny adjustments to keep us stable. Good. And then taking the hands back in front of the heart and step that right foot down. Inhale again to sweep the arms up, coming into your forward fold. Maybe you want to clasp opposite elbows here and just sway side to side. And take your hands down to the mat and start to bend one knee at a time. And then bending deeply into the knees, coming down into a squat. You can use your hands here. And maybe coming all the way onto the floor, or feel free to use the hands to come down to a seat. Once you're there, we'll take the right ankle onto the left knee, using the hands behind you for support. And just start to rock side to side with the legs a little bit in this figure four stretch. Just paying attention to sensation, noticing what you're feeling in that left outer hip. Keeping the spine fairly long here, so just making sure we're not overly rounding the shoulders or collapsing. And then we'll take the legs over towards the left to come into a twist, so that right foot comes all the way down to the floor. Once you feel that you're seated upright, twist towards your right, maybe holding on to that knee with the left arm, and just gently looking over the shoulder. And then slowly unwind, coming back to center, unwinding the legs, and then finding the opposite cross, left ankle over right knee here. Rocking side to side a little bit with the legs, just kind of getting the body used to this sensation of the stretch in the outer hip. And perhaps finding some stillness here for a few moments. Noticing the quality of your breath here as we start to wind down. And then slowly take the legs over towards your right side, coming into that twist. So finding length through the spine, and then twisting towards your left. Left fingertips come down behind you. Being gentle with the neck here. And breathing into that right side of the body. Slowly unwind, uncross the legs. And then we're going to come down onto the front of the body here, coming into Sphinx pose. So elbows are below the shoulders here. You can use your blanket or your cushion if you'd like. It might come in handy here for the left leg, as we're going to bring that leg out to the side here in a moment. So think of lifting your ribs up and back just a little bit. Support the lower back. And then when you're ready, take the left knee out to the side. You might not come up very high, that's okay. And you can either stay up in the Sphinx posture, or you can rest your upper body down, maybe relax the forehead onto the forearms. And just stay here and breathe for a few moments. Seeing if you can let go of any unnecessary gripping or tension in the body. Just staying with the breath here. Just taking one more breath here. Nice, long, slow exhale. And we'll slowly start to take the left leg back and come up back into our Sphinx posture. You might want to take your blanket or your cushion over to your right side for the same thing. So taking that right knee out to the side, maybe directly out from the hip, maybe lower. You can come into almost like a downward facing tree pose here if you want to bring that right foot more towards the left leg. And again, option to stay here in Sphinx. Maybe you want to stay here for a couple breaths and then come down, or maybe you want to come down right away and just relax the forehead down. Thinking of breathing into the back of the body here, creating space with your breath. Maybe just inviting your awareness to the space between the shoulder blades, the upper back, and seeing if you can send your breath there. And also taking note of any places in the body where maybe there's some gripping or clenching happening, and just releasing that. And whenever you're ready, slowly begin to come back to Sphinx pose, taking the right leg back. And then allow yourself to fully relax down, head onto the forearms, and then pick up the feet and just sway the legs side to side a few times. Releasing any tension in the hips or the lower back. And then slowly bring the feet back down towards the ground. And just rest here for a few more breaths. Taking this opportunity to breathe into the back of the body. And just inviting yourself to stay here and relax. Find that stillness, that sense of ease and no pressure to do anything here. Perhaps you want to stay here for a few more minutes, and this could be your posture for Shavasana. If not, feel free to come out of the pose, lifting up the head and shoulders, coming onto the forearms, and pressing back to a seat. Coming into any comfortable seat of your choice, taking your time. And just closing the eyes, getting a sense again of that internal state that you've created through your practice. Connecting to the heart space. And just maybe finding a moment of gratitude. Either continuing to stay in this meditation for as long as you have, or feel free to come out of this posture and open the eyes. Thank you so much for joining me for this practice. I hope you enjoyed it.